Hey guys, I'm Payne and welcome back to another video. In this video, I will be analyzing the position 5 player of PSG LGD. In this game, I will show you how LGD.Y uses his decision making to overcome a hard matchup. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the lane matchup, Y will be playing Bane alongside Ame, who is on the TA, versus Pango and Phoenix. This lane isn't that hard, but it's still an unfavorable matchup for the side of the LGD safe lane duo. It depends mostly on how Y performs in the lane and his decisions. So what makes this matchup in favor of Pango and Phoenix? To answer that, Templar Assassin is a right-click hero with a very short range at early levels, and Phoenix shines against heroes that right-click because of his Fire Spears. Fire Spears not only lower the attack speed of the TA, but also get rid of refractions since they do damage per second. Fire Spears combined with the Pango's shield crash that slows down the target can destroy a TA really easily given that she has very low range till level 7. Because safe lane TA tends to skill meld to harass the enemy. Also, the last thing is that Pango has this arm, so he can also man up to the TA with Phoenix's aid with the Fire Spirits. So what does the LGD duo need to do in order to come out ahead in this lane? I will explain further through the decision making of Y. Before we move on to the game, let's just take a look at Y's itemization. So if you see his early itemization, he goes for Ring of Regen and Branches. I don't know about you, but for me this is quite unusual. For him to prefer Branches over Salve or mana items seems quite intriguing. Not only that, he has a Ring of Regen. So what could be the possible reasoning behind this? To answer that, Y's game plan is to keep Phoenix away from the TA so that it forces a 1v1 between the Pango and the TA. TA can easily lane against just the Pango as opposed to the Pango backed by the Phoenix. Since Phoenix has a DPS spell, Fire Spears, Y decides to go with Ring of Regen as his starting items. Ring of Regen combined with Tango outreaches the damage that comes from the level 1 Fire Spirits. And not only that, it can also be upgraded to Tranquils later on. The Branches and the Fairy Fire are necessary because they provide Y with stats and damage that can allow him to trade better with the Phoenix. Not to forget, Bane has Brain Sap for trading purposes. Other than that, early on in the lane, Salve and Mana Regen won't be required that much since he can use Brain Sap at least 4 times and has a way to regen up because of that. Salve for the TA won't be necessary since she will have a good time against the Pango in a 1v1. Rest the Sentry is for dewarding in case they block the small camp. And after that, when the game starts, you're gonna see that as soon as the game starts, after the bounty runes, if you see Y's courier, he's gonna ferry out some Salve and the mana potion. After the bounty runes spawn at 0-4, everyone is moving towards their respective lanes. But if you see Y's movements here, he's just lingering around. Why doesn't he just move towards his lane to help the TA? So the reason behind this movement is that he knows that Phoenix has to cross him in order to go towards his lane because TPs are still on cooldown. Y understands that if Phoenix is not present in the lane, TA will have a good time against the Pango in a 1v1. He sticks around and just zones out the Phoenix, constantly bringing him down to half HP. And while all this is happening, you can see here that TA is having a decent time against the Pango because of level 1 meld. And here you can see that Phoenix is completely zoned out. Since Y wasted a lot of Phoenix's time by zoning him out and harassing him, in order for Phoenix to block the small camp of failure before the minute mark, he needs to walk towards it. Y acknowledges this and starts trading with the Phoenix even more, and as you can see here, Phoenix uses Fire Spears but nothing happens to Y thanks to the Ring of Regen. Not only this, since Y zoned him out for so long, Tia gets more free time in the lane because Phoenix had to go to block the camp. While trading with the Phoenix, Y also blocks the big camp by standing on it so that the enemy cannot use it to pull, forcing T in a bad position near the enemy tower. If you see here, Y is constantly trading with the Phoenix, and if you see his movements here, he's moving towards the big camp and hits it and drags it away so that these guys cannot pull it here, forcing TA in a bad position again and potentially getting a kill on the TA. But if the wave is near the TA's tower, it is good for her because she cannot get any harass on her because the tower is really close to her. And after that, if you see Y, he's gonna go and constantly play on their face so that they are forced to use their spells on the Bane. So this allows TA to even get more ahead. So if you see the CS difference, it's like already Ame is already 5 creeps ahead. If you see here, both Bane and the TA will start trading with the enemy team. This forces the Phoenix to use the Icarus dive, and now Bane acknowledges that the Phoenix has to go back to base in order to regen, and for him to stay here is not gonna do anything, so he allows the TA to get solo XP, and here he goes to secure the boundary rune so that the enemy does not take it. And after that, he sees that the TA is already pushed the wave into the enemy tower, so he doesn't need to pull this. So he goes mid instead and secures the water rune for his Kunkka. So this is like basically efficiency and like allowing TA to have a good time. And after that, he TPs here and gives TA the salve and regen that he got early on. Moving on, if you see here again, Y is already standing next to the big camp so that he doesn't allow them to pull it. What he does here is that he hits it so that they cannot pull it here. If you see, the enemy creep wave is quite near and they could have pulled it. So he doesn't allow that, and not only that, while doing this, he also stacks a small camp. And after that, he realizes that the wave is already under the TS tower, so she's safe. So what he does is that he allows her to get free XP. And not only that, he goes here and plants a ward here in his free time because he knows that the TA is safe. So there's something special about this ward. So you might be thinking, what's so special about this ward? It doesn't offer, like, it's like a normal ward, right? They would just place a sentry and deward it. But if you think about it, so if they play a sentry here, if the enemy places a sentry here, it will not reach this ward because the sentry range ends near this point. So you would argue that they should just place a sentry in the middle and they can see both the hill and here. But early on, at 5 minutes, supports aren't usually level 4. So level 4 is really important here because if you see Bane's courier, Bane's level 3 and his courier is... the courier cannot fly. So if the courier cannot fly, they cannot use the flying vision to scout both the hill and this ward by placing in the middle here. So this allows Bane to get away with the ward here because if you see early on, none of the supports are level 4. Like Phoenix is level 2, Clock is level 3. So in order for them to deward this, they need a core's courier, which is unlikely to happen. So this thing keeps going on, the pulling and pressuring, but now you see here that TA dies here to the puck rotation and both the heroes die. Even though they were ahead, now the lane is probably going to be even or like still close. But yeah, they're still ahead. So this is not the key thing of this part. The key thing is that, so after both these heroes respawn, you will see that the Bane does not walk bot. What he's gonna do is that he's gonna go towards top. So why doesn't he just go bot and help the TA in this lane? Because they don't have roll, they don't have anything. So he can really help the TA. So what happens is that if you check TA's TP status, it's like it's on cooldown because TA already used it here. And not only that, TA wants to farm her way towards the bot lane. So in order for Bane to be there, it's like useless. Other than that, TA is already level 6. She has traps. She can solo lane the Pango and she can place traps here and here to look out for rotations. So the better things for Bane to do here is that if you notice that DP is already level 6 and she wants to take this tower away from the enemy team by using Exorcism. And if the enemy reacts, Bane has to be there to help them. And not only that, if Bane is there, these guys will be forced to rotate here, which will relieve the pressure off of the TA from bot lane. And as you can see here, they pop Exo and the enemy team, all of them are going to start TPing because they're applying pressure to this lane. And while this is all happening, Kunkka's pressuring mid and Tia's having a free time at the bot lane. So this is really important because you want to know when to leave the lane to give the carry solo XP and that she can have like more impact in the game. This was mostly it. If you enjoyed the content, please leave a like and subscribe. This was the end of the Entering the Mine series. I will be doing more content in the future. My next focus is to make a guide on how to play carry that will at least give you thousands of MMR. And other than that, if you're interested in paid coaching, the link is given in the description. You can join my Discord and settle. Take care and I'll see you guys in the next video.